Have you ever wondered what the future holds for our cities? As the clock ticks, we find ourselves grappling with a formidable force: climate change. This phenomenon is not just about warmer winters or erratic rainfall. It's a threat that's reshaping our world, and more specifically, our cities. The rising sea levels, a direct consequence of climate change, are silently encroaching upon our urban landscapes. Are we prepared for this? Stay tuned to discover 8 cities that might be underwater by 2030 due to climate change. Famous for its canals, Venice is fighting a losing battle with the rising sea levels. The city, known for its romantic gondola rides and exquisite architecture, is sinking at a rate of 2 millimeters per year. It's not just the sinking. Venice is also grappling with the increased frequency of acqua alta, or high water events. These are instances when the water level in the city's narrow waterways rises to cover the streets, causing disruptions in daily life and damaging the city's historic buildings. Scientists predict that if the current trends continue and no significant action is taken, the city could be underwater by the year 2030. This is a grim forecast for a city that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a major global tourist destination. The future of Venice hangs in the balance, teetering between a bustling city of canals and a sunken relic of the past. Without urgent action, the city of canals may soon become the city of Atlantis. Miami, a city known for its vibrant beaches, faces a grim future. This sun-kissed metropolis, famed for its year-round tropical climate, is at war with the very element that lends it its charm: water. Coastal erosion is a pressing concern, with the city's beautiful sandy beaches gradually disappearing. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Miami is no stranger to flooding, but the frequency of these events is on the rise, turning from occasional inconvenience into a regular phenomenon. And what does the future hold? Predictions paint a sobering picture. By the year 2030, parts of the city could be underwater if current trends continue. But Miami isn't taking this lying down. The city has plans for adaptation, investing in seawalls, pumps, and other infrastructure to combat the rising tides. Yet despite these efforts, uncertainty lingers. Miami's future hangs in the balance, a stark reminder of what's at stake. Jakarta, one of the fastest sinking cities on Earth, is racing against time. This bustling metropolis, home to around 10 million people, is dropping at an alarming rate of up to 7 inches per year. Imagine that, a city sinking nearly half a foot annually. The culprit? A lethal combination of unchecked urban development and excessive groundwater extraction. The impact on the city's population is profound. Hundreds of thousands have already been displaced, their homes swallowed by the encroaching sea. And the future? It's a ticking time bomb. By 2030, it's predicted that a significant part of Jakarta could be submerged. The Indonesian government is not sitting idle. They've planned a $10 billion seawall to hold back the waters. Moreover, they're even considering moving the capital to another location. But will these measures be enough to outpace the rising tides? Jakarta's struggle is a wake-up call to the world. Alexandria, the pearl of the Mediterranean, is under threat. This vibrant city, once the beacon of Hellenistic civilization and home to the Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, now faces a looming danger. Alexandria, with its population of over 5 million, is particularly vulnerable to the rising sea levels due to its low-lying coastal location. The city's beaches, which were once bustling with life, have begun to disappear, swallowed by the encroaching sea. Experts predict that by 2050, a significant part of Alexandria could be submerged. This is not a distant possibility, but a chilling reality that is inching closer each day. The city's authorities have started to take measures, developing plans for seawalls and other infrastructural adaptations. But whether these efforts will be enough remains uncertain. The predicament of Alexandria paints a stark picture of our future, a future where cities might be lost to the sea. Alexandria's fate is a warning of what's to come. Dhaka, a city on the front lines of climate change, is bracing for impact. Nestled in the heart of Bangladesh, Dhaka is a bustling metropolis of over 20 million people, a city that beats with the rhythm of relentless progress. But it's also a city that's becoming increasingly familiar with an uninvited guest: water. The city's geographical position makes it highly susceptible to flooding. a problem exacerbated by the rising sea levels and increased rainfall due to climate change. Currently, Dhaka experiences significant flooding during monsoon season, but as the years roll on, the city's struggle with water is predicted to become a year-round battle. The city is gearing up, investing in resilience measures like improved drainage systems and flood-resistant infrastructure. But the challenge is monumental. As we cast our gaze towards the future, Dhaka's struggle is not just its own. It's a stark reminder of the realities of climate change and the urgency with which we must act. Dhaka's plight is a call to action. Kiribati, a Pacific island nation, is on the verge of disappearing. This tiny island republic, straddling the equator in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, is facing an existential threat. The rising sea levels, a direct result of climate change, are swallowing its land bit by bit. Kiribati is on the front line of the climate crisis. It's not just about losing homes, it's about losing an entire nation, a culture and a way of life. The highest point of the island is just about 6 feet above sea level. This makes it incredibly vulnerable to even the smallest rise in sea levels. The future predictions are grim. By the year 2030, large parts of Kiribati could be underwater. The nation has made desperate pleas to the world for help. It's a cry for survival, a cry for existence. Kiribati's future is in our hands. New York, the city that never sleeps, may soon be sleeping with the fishes. The Big Apple, a buzzing metropolis known for its towering skyscrapers and vibrant culture, finds itself on the front lines of the battle against climate change. Its coastal location makes it highly susceptible to rising sea levels, with areas like Lower Manhattan and the Rockaways standing as particularly vulnerable zones. As we move further into the 21st century, experts predict that the city could face more frequent and severe flooding, threatening millions of residents and iconic landmarks alike. In response, New York has embarked on ambitious plans to fortify its defences. From constructing seawalls to redesigning waterfront parks, the city is innovating its way towards resilience. But the clock is ticking, the sea is rising, and the stakes are high. The challenges faced by New York serve as a powerful symbol of the global struggle against climate change. New York's predicament is a stark reminder of the urgent need for action. These cities are not alone. They represent millions of people around the world who are in danger. It's a stark reality we face, but it's not a fate sealed in stone. The Earth is a complex and resilient system, and we humans, as its stewards, have the power to guide its course. Climate change is not a problem for future generations to solve. It's our problem here and now. The cities we've explored today provide a glimpse into a future we'd rather avoid, but they also serve as a call to action, a call to each one of us to step up and make a difference. So, how can we help? What can we do to reverse the tide and secure a better future for our cities and our planet? The answer lies in both individual and collective action. It's about the choices we make every day and the systems we choose to support. We can start by reducing our carbon footprint. That means using less energy and choosing renewable sources whenever possible. It's about driving less, flying less, and consuming less. It's about rethinking our diets, reducing food waste, and choosing products with lower environmental impacts. But individual action is just the start. We need to push for systemic change. That means supporting renewable energy on a larger scale. It's about holding our leaders accountable, voting for policies that prioritize the environment, and demanding that corporations do the same. We can also support organizations that are working to combat climate change, whether through research, advocacy, or direct action. And we can educate ourselves and others about the urgency of this issue, because awareness is the first step towards action. Remember, every action counts, no matter how small it may seem. Each one of us has a role to play in this global effort. It's a daunting task, but it's also an opportunity to build a better, more sustainable world for ourselves and for future generations. The future of our cities is in our hands. Act now to make a difference.